and good afternoon. Here is the news afternoon. First, the highlights. Legacy government commences second round of national immunization plus days. Nigerian education loan funds warn students against fake online site. And the foreign thing, Israel's wave of airstrike across Gaza Strip triggers displacement of hundreds of Palestinian families. And in sports, Nigeria's Super Falcons defeat Ghana in friendly game ahead Women's Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco. And now the details. I am Mike James. Lagos State Government, through the State Primary Healthcare Board, LSPHCB, in collaboration with its development partners, has flagged off the second round of the National Immunization Plot Days NIPDs across all local government areas, LGAs, and local council development areas, LCDAs. Speaking at the flag off held at the Ekpe LGA Secretariat, wife of the Lagos State Governor, Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, emphasized that the health and development of children are pivotal to the future of any society. Mrs. Sanwo-Olu, who was represented by Oluwatoyin Badejo, noted that the present administration remains unwavering in its commitment to child health and its efforts continue to yield positive results. She also highlighted several initiatives aimed at supporting mothers and children, including free antenatal care, immunization drives, the Lera Eco Health Insurance Scheme, and nutrition programs. In his remarks, the Permanent Secretary of the LSPHCB, Ibrahim Mustafa, explained that the immunization campaign will span 4 days, with an additional 2 days for mop-up activities to ensure no child is left behind. He added that to ensure the success of the program, a variety of strategies have been deployed, including fixed post teams at primary healthcare centers, house-to-house visits, and transit teams stationed at key public locations, such as schools, markets, motor parks, and places of worship. In a bold step to stem the tide of cholera outbreaks in vulnerable areas, the Lagos State Environmental Protection Agency, LASEPA, has launched a grassroots public health campaign in the Ikorodu Division. The initiative, which is in partnership with the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, UNIDO, and the government of Japan, is tailored to boost health resilience in flood-prone neighborhoods by targeting informal food and water vendors as well as waste handlers. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of the Environment and Water Resources, Omobolaji Gaji, warned of one of the severe public health threats posed by cholera, especially in flood-prone regions where poor sanitation allows contaminated water to mix with household supplies. Gaji, who was represented by the Director, Environmental Sanitation, Hassan Sanuth, noted that the combination of Lagos' rapid urbanization and inadequate waste management in certain areas makes outbreaks more likely, underscoring the need for behavioral change and sustained public education to curb the disease. In his address, the General Manager of LASEPA, Babatunde Ajayi, stressed the importance of equipping informal vendors and waste workers with preventive strategies, including hygiene, best practices, food safety, and the use of clean water to protect public health. No fewer than 2,000 delegates comprising industry experts, policymakers, emergency responders, market dwellers, and community leaders are expected in Lagos to address critical fire safety challenges as the Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service, under the Lagos State Ministry of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Relations, hosts the second Lagos International Fire Safety Conference 2.0. The 3-day conference, themed Leveraging Technology and Community Engagement to Prevent Fires, will be held from August 12 to 14. Commissioner for Special Duties and Intergovernmental Relations, Gbenga Oyeride, said Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu will give the keynote address and declare the conference open. Oyeride said the conference is a demonstration of the Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu themes plus agenda, commitment to public order and safety in the state. On her part, Director of the Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service, Margaret Adeshe, said this year's conference will build on the resounding success of LIFSC 1.0, which drew over 1,800 delegates in 2024. The Lagos International Fire Safety Conference, LIFSC 2.0, will focus on disaster risk reduction across Lagos, Nigeria's commercial hub and beyond by promoting a culture of prevention, preparedness, and mitigation while building resilience. And now to the rest of the stories. The Nigerian Education Loan Fund (NEL Fund) has warned students to be cautious of a fake portal with fraudulent messages currently circulating online. This is contained in a statement by the fund's Director of Strategic Communications, Oseyemi Oluwatuyi. Oluwatuyi says the information contained in the online messages was misleading and fraudulent, falsely claiming that President Bola Tinubu has directed the reopening of the NEL Fund student loan portal. She urges the general public, especially students, parents, and guardians, to avoid clicking on unverified links and to never submit personal or financial information on suspicious websites. Oluwatuyi pledges NEL Fund's commitment to transparency, safety, and fairness in the loan application process, adding that the fund will always make announcements through its verified platforms. The Oyo State government has reiterated its commitment to fostering a more robust and investor-friendly environment in the state. Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning, Misbah Babatunde, stated this during the State Action on Business Enabling Reforms SABA Technical Solution Session held at the Secretariat, Agodi, Ibadan. The event was part of the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council, PBEC's nationwide tour to strengthen sub-national business reforms. Babatunde, who doubles as the state chairman of SABA, explained that there is a need to consistently reform the business environment to attract investors. He said the state embraced the SABA framework as a transformative vehicle for governance reform, private sector engagement, and economic inclusion. Speaking virtually, the Director General of PBEC, Zara Audu, said the partnership between the agency and the state would enable the government and stakeholders to adapt, enhance, and strengthen the regulatory environment, particularly through the SABA program. And now to foreign news. Israel has carried out a wave of airstrikes across the Gaza Strip, triggering the mass displacement of hundreds of Palestinian families. Rescue teams recovered the bodies of 5 people, while dozens of injured civilians were evacuated to Al-Hili Hospital in Gaza City. The bombardment follows one of the largest evacuation orders issued since the war resumed in March. It comes amid increasing pressure on Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to refocus efforts to reach a ceasefire agreement. Residents in Gaza City said dozens of Israeli air raids targeted densely populated eastern neighborhoods, including Shujaya, Tufar, and Zaytoun. And over to sports news. Nigeria's Super Falcons defeated rivals Black Queens of Ghana 3-1 in a friendly game in Casablanca, Morocco on Sunday. The game, which was played behind closed doors, is part of the Super Falcons' preparation for this year's Women's Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco. Goals from Chiwendu Ihezuo, a penalty from Asisa Toshola, and Captain Rasheedat Ajibade secured the win for the 9-time African champions. Alice Kusi grabbed the consolation goal for Ghana as she converted an 88-minute penalty. The Super Falcons now remain unbeaten in their last 3 games, scoring 5 goals and conceding just 1. Up next for the Justin Madugu side is the Women's Africa Cup of Nations from July 5 to 26. The Super Falcons, who are in Group B, will open their campaign on July 6 against Tunisia and face Botswana 3 days later. And that was our news at noon. Just before we go, always carry out proper and adequate checks on your vehicle before setting out. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X, Traffic Radio 961, Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube, Traffic Radio 961. Visit our website, www.trafficradio961.ng, and listen to Lagos Traffic Radio on My Lagos app for timely updates. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration organized a mentorship seminar for over 1,000 youths on the theme Agripreneur Strategy for Wealth Creation? Well, you can get more details on the Legacy Government website, and to end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Government, through the State Primary Healthcare Board, LSPHCB, in collaboration with its development partners, has flagged off the second round of the National Immunization Plus Days, NIPDs, across all local government areas, LGAs, and local council development areas, LCDAs. The Nigerian Education Loan Fund has warned students to be cautious of a fake portal with fraudulent messages currently circulating online. We also told you that Israel has carried out a wave of airstrikes across the Gaza Strip, triggering mass displacement of hundreds of Palestinian families. And in sports, Nigeria Super Falcons defeated rivals Black Queens of Ghana 3-1 in a friendly game in Casablanca, Morocco on Sunday. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Adeswa Choyoka. My name is Mike James. Good afternoon and thank you for listening.